developing stories as we come on the air. The White House now claiming it will be the biggest tax cut ever. Tonight, we'll show you the one-page proposal. Corporate taxes cut by more than a half. Who will pay for it? And our John Carl asks, will the president release his taxes? Also tonight, the showdown with North Korea, new tensions, and now all 100 senators invited to the White House late today. We have late word from inside that rare briefing. The severe weather threat as we come on the air, tornado warnings, and now major storms. Millions in the path this evening. Fox News under fire again just days after pushing out Bill O'Reilly. What another Fox host just said about Ivanka Trump in this moment. Tonight he says that's not what he meant. And we do have breaking news. The state trooper shot while on duty. The manhunt, a home surrounded right now. And authorities warning neighbors to stay indoors.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Boston.
Good evening, and we had a great visit in Boston today, and we'll have much more on that coming up later. But we begin tonight with the breaking headline today from the White House. President Trump unveiling what the White House is calling the biggest tax cut in American history. The new policy unveiled, it's a one-pager. President Trump wants to slash taxes on corporations by more than half, from 35% to 15%. And he wants to cut taxes for many Americans, too. But many of the familiar tax breaks for individual Americans would go away, while offering some tax relief to families with child care expenses. But when pressed for specifics, how will this affect a typical family of four with a median income of $60,000 a year? Our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, with how they answered.
It's a big-ticket item released just before day 100. A plan, or really an outline of a plan, for what the president says will be the biggest tax cut ever.
It's a great plan. It's going to put people back to work.
Talked about it over and over again during the campaign.
You don't mind having lower taxes, do you, anybody?
The outline, rolled out today by the Treasury Secretary and the president's top economic advisor, would cut the corporate tax rate from 35% to 15%. And that new lower rate would also apply to businesses that now pay through the owner's personal taxes, companies like the Trump Organization.
1, 2, 3.
It would also cut tax rates for individuals and simplify the system, reducing the number of tax brackets from 7 to just 3. It would eliminate estate taxes and double the standard deduction. So for a married couple, the first $24,000 of income would be income tax free. There would still be deductions for home mortgage interest and charitable contributions, but all other personal deductions would be eliminated. The outline was just a single page, double-spaced, with few specifics.
It's just one page. Obviously, tax reform would be much more complicated. When will we see the details? When will we see the actual plan?
We're moving as quickly as we can.
For now, the most basic questions are unanswered, like how would it affect the typical family?
Family of 4, median income, $60,000. What does it mean for them?
It's going to mean a tax cut.
How much?
Going to mean a tax cut. We will let you know the specific details at the appropriate moment.
What's totally unclear, how to pay for all of these tax cuts without ballooning the deficit. One bipartisan analysis estimates that Trump's plan could cost anywhere between $3 and $7 trillion in lost revenue over 10 years. Also a mystery, how would the plan affect the president and his family's business? Unknowable because he hasn't released his tax returns.
Will the president release his tax returns so that
The president
Americans...
has no intention. The president has released plenty of information and I think has given more financial disclosure than anybody else. I think the American population has plenty of information.
But doesn't the American the American the American people have a right to know how it will affect how this tax reform will affect him personally?
A few minutes later, Cecilia Vega tried again.
So your response to those critics who say a lot of what you've presented here today could save the president or benefit his own businesses?
Again, let me just comment. What this is about is creating jobs and creating economic growth.
And so let's get to John Carl at the White House tonight. And John, a lot of fanfare surrounding today's announcement as President Trump approaches this 100-day mark. But realistically, it was a one-pager. What kind of timeline are we looking at here? And does he have Republican support given concerns about the deficit?
David, we are at the very beginning of this process, but White House officials say they are determined to get it done by the end of the year, and there is no question that Republicans are divided on this issue.
John Carl at the White House tonight. John, thank you. Now to the intensifying showdown with North Korea tonight. And a rare meeting late today, all 100 senators invited to the White House, traveling by bus for a briefing on North Korea with President Trump's national security team. And with tensions rising, American and South Korean troops taking part in a military exercise today. North Korea tonight warning the U.S. is playing with fire. Here's ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega learning new details from inside that rare meeting of senators at the White House.
Today, a field trip to the White House. One by one, nearly every senator on Capitol Hill loading up on buses.
Okay, must be in the right place.
Heading to that classified briefing on North Korea and its nuclear threat. Inside the bus, Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy tweeting, on board to the 100 days photo op / North Korea briefing. That briefing came at the request of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The president offering up his top national security advisors for the task and the White House for the meeting space.
The senators all just arrived here on the White House. We can't see them. They're being kept pretty far away from us. This is what you can see. All the photographers trying to get that shot.
Those cameras catching the president stopping by. An hour and 20 minutes later, the senators emerged.
After what you've heard in there today, what's your characterization of the threat level right now?
North Korea has nuclear weapons. They've tested them several times. North Korea has advanced missile capability, and they are making determined, significant investments in advancing their missile capability.
The military is obviously planning for a number of contingencies, a number of options, as well they should. It is, of course, the hope of the administration, the hope of Congress, that military action does not prove necessary.
North Korea had a response to the briefing before it even began, saying in a statement, there is a saying that those who are fond of playing with fire are destined to perish in the flames. The same can be said of the U.S. In an effort to demonstrate its firepower, the Hermit Kingdom on Tuesday conducting massive artillery drills, these trucks carrying a U.S. missile defense system to the location in South Korea where it will soon operate, a move China strongly opposes at a time when the U.S. needs Beijing to be on its side when it comes to North Korea.
And Cecilia Vega joined us live from the White House tonight. Very rare that all 100 senators would be invited to the White House for a security briefing. What more have you learned tonight, Cecilia, about what they were told in that room?
Well, David, it was a classified briefing, but some senators have said they didn't feel like they learned anything new. The White House, though, today, David, suggests that new sanctions against North Korea could be the next move.
Cecilia Vega with us tonight as well. Thank you, Cecilia. To Capitol Hill now, with President Trump's 100-day mark fast approaching, the one major piece of legislation he's tackled, repealing and replacing Obamacare, of course, failing. But tonight, Republicans say there's new hope. House Speaker Paul Ryan today saying a compromise bill is gaining support, that the most conservative members of the House who said no the last time are now listening. But in order to listen, the new plan would now allow states to opt out of requiring insurance companies to cover Americans with pre-existing conditions. And what about those lawmakers themselves and their insurance? Theirs would not be affected. ABC's Mary Bruce asked them about it.
Tonight, a possible breakthrough in Republican efforts to overhaul Obamacare. The ultra-conservatives who blocked the first attempt now giving a new compromise their stamp of approval.
What made you change your mind?
The amendment. We got states to opt out of some of the regs.
The new version would let states opt out of the popular Obamacare requirement that plans cover basic health services. It could also gut protections for people with pre-existing conditions, something the president once promised not to touch.
Are you going to make sure that people with preconditions are still covered?
Yes, because it happens to be one of the strongest assets.
The plan's supporters insist those with pre-existing conditions would be protected in other ways.
It's all covered.
But one group of people who may not have to worry, members of Congress. These new changes would not apply to them. Under the new Republican plan, they are exempt for now.
What about this exemption? If this plan is good enough for the American people, shouldn't it be good enough for members of Congress?
It should be. I agree.
So you're going to make a change?
Yes.
Guys, we got to go.
Yeah, I do have to go, but I will say this: it will be fixed.
And Mary Bruce with us live tonight from Capitol Hill. And Mary, let's get back to that, because many Americans, when they hear that some of these lawmakers are proposing a new way to repeal and replace, and yet those lawmakers, their insurance would be exempt.
David, lots of concern about this, but lawmakers insist they will not get special treatment. And now that conservatives are on board, the political pressure here is on the moderates to see if they can back their own party's plan. David.
And Mary Bruce, you'll stay on this. Mary, thank you. We turn now to a developing headline at this hour, a dangerous standoff after a state trooper was shot while on the job. A Delaware state trooper, the shooting in the parking lot of a food market. The suspect then holed up inside a home, surrounded, shots fired at police. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, dozens of police cars surrounding a home in Delaware. A tense standoff underway with a man authorities believe shot and killed a Delaware state trooper.
Hostage negotiators are trying to establish communication with him.
So there were like shots going off in the neighborhood. There was like a SWAT team in the trees and everything.
It all began at this convenience store this afternoon.
Set up a perimeter, please. CPR progress.
Police say the trooper approached a suspicious vehicle with two people inside when one of the two got out and started firing shots, hitting the trooper. The suspect taking off.
When he ran for probably 7 or 8 feet, and then he turned around and started shooting.
The chaos leading to a desperate search. Residents warned by reverse 911. Nearby schools locked down. That trooper rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. He died there. State and local authorities outside with a massive show of support.
This is a sad day for our state and for the Delaware State Police family.
And David, tonight police are investigating to figure out what the motive for the shooting could be. Meanwhile, we do know that the other person in that car was taken into custody. David?
Gio, thank you. Next tonight here, there is severe weather moving across the heartland at this hour. Millions bracing for possible tornadoes and thunderstorms. A funnel cloud spotted over Arkansas Tech University and Russellville. Powerful winds bending and snapping trees in Pinckneyville, Illinois, and severe storms and tornado alerts stretching now from Texas to Ohio this evening, along with the drenching rains and flooding here in the east. ABC's Philip Mena in the storm zone.
That's it right here. Tornado sirens warning of the approaching danger.
See the rotation right there?
Arkansas Tech students nervously watching the skies as a powerful system brings heavy rain and winds to the region. Roofs collapsing. Even this road washing away.
This tree being sent right through the middle of this house.
Thousands without power. The severe weather threat now stretching more than 600 miles across 10 states. Overnight, the system thundering through the heartland, packing huge hail. Northeast of Tulsa, Oklahoma, first responders racing to clear roads after a confirmed EF1 tornado touched down in Mayes County. Dozens of structures damaged. And in the east, after up to 10 inches of rain this week in parts of North Carolina, many roads, even Highway 264 east of Raleigh, flooded and completely impassable.
David, here in Little Rock, the rain is really coming down. The big concern tonight, those damaging winds as this line of storms now moves east. David?
All right, Philip, thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano back at the map tonight with the track for us. Rob?
David, flash flooding in Arkansas, one of the many issues across the storm zone tonight. We've had tornado warnings as well. Northeast Texas to southern Illinois, that's the risk zone. We've had winds gusting over 70 miles an hour there. So these storms mean business as they head across the Mississippi River. By tomorrow morning, though, stretches out and falls apart for a quieter day tomorrow. But Friday, another system digs down into the plains, and this is going to have a huge severe risk area from Wichita Falls all the way back through Cincinnati. Meanwhile, the fog has settled into the northeast, and it will be with you in Boston, it looks like, through tomorrow morning. David?
Rob Marciano with us again tonight. Rob, thank you. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Wednesday from Boston. Authorities on the scene today after a massive home explosion in the heartland. A home leveled. Neighbors told to shut off their gas. Investigators are on the scene tonight. The nightmare for drivers, people running for cover as a wall of earth collapses onto a major highway. And a Fox News host tonight and what he said about Ivanka Trump, the microphone, and that moment on the stage. The immediate outrage. Tonight, he claims it's not what he meant. You decide after the break.
Just how far does WeatherTech go to protect your vehicle?
I'm on it.
right in America.
Question, are my teeth yellow? Have you tried the tissue test? Oh, yellow. What do you use? Crest White Strips. Crest 3D White Strips whiten 25 times better than a leading whitening toothpaste. I passed the tissue test. Oh, yeah. Crest White Strips are the way to whiten.
It's the Ace Buy One, Get One free sale.
Find amazing buy one, get one free deals throughout the entire store. So many deals, we can't show them all. Hurry in. The Ace Buy One, Get One free sale ends Sunday.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine